Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Santa Clara.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this one up to about the 23.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now he's free at the 35. He may go. Brandon Ayuk.
Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 77 yards.
And the Niners march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here.
Purdy will throw for it.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6.
Love looking to throw it.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Love now.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. Purdy.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. 6-0 our score after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to get the football back at their own 17. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. Now, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
McCaffrey. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Now Purdy.
Toward the pylon, caught.
And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Let's go.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
Christian McCaffrey. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are able to stretch out their lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
They'll look to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. And As he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From the 31, here's second down and 5.
Here we go, set.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ultra. Go ultra. Set, cut. Set.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Field, black.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs.
On the ball. On the ball.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Here's Love.
Same target. It's Jacobs again.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
To the air again, Love. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown.
Bo Melton.
36 yards.
And the Packers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here.
And that's caught inside the 35. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Here's Purdy.
Forced out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
Purdy now to throw.
Buying time to his left. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Purdy looking to throw.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Brandon Ayuk.
In the final seconds of the 1st half.
And the 49ers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for 2 here.
They'll try and throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this 1st half as the kick is away.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the 3rd quarter will start from the 30.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
Here we go.
And they trail here to begin the 2nd half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the 1st half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Come on, set. Striker, 3-3. Right, 97. Ready.
Once again, it's Jacobs. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. play. 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Love.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
They go with Jacobs.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. To throw now, here's Love.
Got Dobbs over the middle.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, Love wants to shift things around.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Love completes it again to Dobbs.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ready.
Now Love.
That's taken in by Watson.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Here we go, set.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Strike. Ready.
Here's Jacobs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point from McManus is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. This is McCaffrey on the give. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And the Packers are right back in this football game.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Here we go. Set, go.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Let's go. Set.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Nothing open downfield, they went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Ready, ready.
Love looking to throw it. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go. Ready.
Love. That's complete to Dobbs.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Well, the faithful in full roar here in Santa Clara. This is 3rd down.
Ready.
Now Love.
And he's got
Yes, Rosa Parks! Thank you, Sister Rosa Parks!
They have taken the final seconds.
That's how you win a game, Dennis.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
This is 1st and 10. Purdy with one final shot here.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone.